The ratings are in for this Wednesday's edition of AEW Dynamite on TBS. An update on Rey Fenix heading to WWE. Tony Khan says he's changed his philosophy regarding releases from AEW contracts. An update on when we can expect AEW pay-per-views on the Max streaming service. Also an update when it comes to plans for more international pay-per-views in AEW. Mariah May attacks Toni Storm on Queen of the Ring red carpet. Moose attacks NXT champion Obafemi last night on TNA Impact. NXT's tag team champions Fraxim appear on TNA Impact in a vignette. WWE reportedly is set to bring back the Evolution pay-per-view concept for the summer of this year. WWE also launches a WCW YouTube channel. Could Vince McMahon be back in the game following the founding of the TKO boxing promotion this week? More details on why Season 2 of WWE LFG will not feature Mickie James, but instead feature Michelle McCool. The big 10-man tag team match at TNA's Sacrifice is now going to be inside of a steel cage, and several matches have been confirmed for TNA Impact next week. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with the ratings for Wednesday's edition of AEW Dynamite, and it's not good news when it comes to the 18-49 figure for All Elite Wrestling. Wednesday night's Go Home Revolution show of AEW Dynamite averaged 600,000 viewers on TBS, which is up 0.3% from the previous week, so essentially flat. It is, though, the best audience total for the show since February 5th. Now, in terms of the all-important 18-49 demo, not so much. Dynamite finished 8th on primetime cable charts with a 0.13 rating in the 18-49 demo. That's a drop of 27.8% from last week, and it's the lowest rating the show has done in that category on a Wednesday night in the show's history. The only episode lower was October 8th of last year when it was moved to Tuesday night opposite WWE NXT. Now, it should be noted that the numbers for this episode do not include viewers watching on the Max simulcast. The show went head-to-head with an NBA game on ESPN that topped the cable charts with a 0.27 rating in the 18-49 and 1.036 million viewers overall, in addition to airing against a college basketball game on ESPN2. As compared to the same week in 2024, Dynamite's overall viewership was down 23%, while its 18-49 rating was down a whopping 51.9%. The large disparity when it comes to those percentages, some are suggesting is due to the Max simulcast, others just suggesting that the audience is getting older and less people are watching. Now, in terms of the quarter-hour ratings, these come courtesy of WrestleNomics, so shout out to them and be sure to subscribe to their Patreon service. As you can see, as is usually the case, the high point was the first quarter hour of the show. A massive drop for the second quarter hour, kind of went back up in the third to over 600,000, but kind of an up and down and really a downward trend in total viewership for the rest of the show, whereas the 18-49 demographic was lower pretty much across the board than what we've seen over the course of the last 90 days. Now, Rey Fenix, a former AEW World Tag Team Champion, is on his way to WWE. Now, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, if Rey Fenix hasn't signed with WWE, it indeed is coming soon. Rey Fenix officially got his AEW release recently and is expected to head to WWE. When Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp asked about Fenix's status, Fightful have been told that he's expected to get WWE medicals done very soon. In addition, Fightful was told that merchandise has already been brainstormed for Fenix and that if he isn't already signed, it's coming soon, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Now, speaking of those releases, Tony Khan yesterday was asked about releases from AEW and maybe why he's changed his thought process regarding it. Over the past few months, AEW has made the decision to release Miro, Ricky Starks, Malachi Black, and Rey Fenix. All four men had been off television for varying lengths of time, but had time left on their respective contracts. Speaking on the AEW Revolution media call, Tony was asked if his philosophy had changed regarding release requests. He said, quote, "I do think it's a case-by-case basis. I think everything is a case-by-case basis, and so much of life is a case-by-case basis. Philosophically, there is a change in what I've been doing. It felt like the right thing for the company and everyone involved at this point. That's the thinking behind that. It's on a case-by-case basis, and they are all different situations. In this case, they did have similar outcomes. It's fair to ask why now and why I wouldn't have done that before. I just decided that's what I thought was the right thing to do at this point," said Khan. Now, Starks has already signed with WWE, while the other three are all currently free agents and can go anywhere anytime soon. Now, speaking of Tony Khan, he had some more comments to say about AEW pay-per-views. Now, Tony Khan has provided an update on AEW pay-per-views coming to the Max streaming service. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter asked Tony Khan during a media call before AEW Revolution about the future of AEW pay-per-view events coming to Max. It was previously announced that future pay-per-view events would be available at a discounted price on Max. However, a concrete date for the launch of that integration has not yet been set. Tony Khan told Meltzer that the plan is still to have AEW events to come on Max, touting the success of AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision being simulcast on cable and Max. He said, quote, "Max is still going to be a great home to AEW pay-per-view. It's not a technology that has been part of the Max service previously before AEW landed on this great platform. We're very excited to have AEW TV streaming on Max every week. I can't wait to have the upcoming AEW pay-per-views on there in the future. We have all the past AEW Revolution events streaming now on Max. I look forward to when fans can buy the pay-per-views there. It's something we all want, and I know they are working on developing that tech in the platform because it's not something Max has ever offered before. I'm very excited to have all of these great pay-per-view providers. We've been working with great providers over the past years, and we still have great experiences working with them. Now we've added a new provider. It's one of the largest companies in the world, and that's Amazon. We're very excited. Fans can buy AEW Revolution and future pay-per-views on Prime, he added, to be on one of the largest streaming services to sell our pay-per-views. That's huge. In the future, we'll continue with a lot of great providers and Max. Max will be the home for all of AEW in the future, and we'll continue to work with great media companies. One thing has been great about Warner Bros. Discovery and Max is the success they've had with collaborations. We love collaborating with Warner Bros. Discovery. We look at some of the real successes that have really paid off for Warner Bros. Discovery in streaming, and it's a lot of great collaborations. I saw recently that the bundle was last churned, the stickiest bundle of all streaming, and really the stickiest package in all streaming is the Disney Max bundle. That's exciting to see the company having so much success, and that's the most successful package in all streaming. Max will be a great pay-per-view for us, and a pay-per-view home for us moving forward. Absolutely. Now, when it comes to pay-per-views, what about international pay-per-views for AEW? With AEW heading to London, England for Forbidden Door in August of this year, Tony Khan has revealed plans for 2026. AEW and New Japan's Forbidden Door takes place on August 24th, 2025, with this year's All In taking place in Arlington, Texas on July 12th. The previous two entries in AEW All In history have taken place at Wembley Stadium in London, England. Tony Khan had previously stated that AEW All In would be returning to London in 2026, although a location was not confirmed. Speaking to Sean Rossap of Fightful, Khan has now spoken about what's to come in 2026 and commented on Forbidden Door being an international event, saying, quote, "Next year we are planning on that and it's very exciting. We've done Forbidden Door in Canada and had a great experience in Toronto. We've done it in great cities in America, including Chicago and New York. It'll be great to have an overseas Forbidden Door. I'm excited about that. There is a lot more to come and a lot of announcements to come." Turning his attention to AEW All In, Khan addressed the 2026 iteration of the pay-per-view, commenting on the relationship with Wembley Stadium in London, stating, quote, "I can't promise what's to come for 2026, although I can say that Wembley Stadium in London has been a great home to us. Wembley Stadium has been amazing. We set a world record, 81,035 tickets sold. Here at Globe Life Field, we have the chance to make history in American pro wrestling and bring fans from all over the world to Arlington, Texas." Now, sticking with AEW and looking ahead to AEW Revolution this weekend, Mariah May got some licks in at the Queen of the Ring red carpet, attacking timeless Toni Storm. Denise Salcedo of Instinct Culture captured footage of Toni saying Mariah ruined her moment. Storm is set to defend her AEW Women's title against May at AEW Revolution this weekend. Storm stars as Clara Mortensen in the film. Now, going over to TNA, and last night, the feud between Obafemi and Moose continued. Moose and Obafemi went face-to-face again before meeting at WWE NXT Roadblock. WWE NXT champion Obafemi appeared on the March 6th episode of TNA Impact for a final confrontation with TNA X Division champion Moose. This time, Moose was flanked by the entire system: JDC, Brian Myers, Alicia Edwards, and Eddie Edwards. Moose was also flanked by security. Despite all of this, the segment would eventually break down into physicality. Femi would clear out the nameless security guards and even take out the system before being dropped by a spear by Moose. The segment ended with Moose holding both championships in the air. Should he win at NXT Roadblock, he will officially be the WWE NXT champion. Now, the NXT crossover didn't stop there because the NXT Tag Team Champions appeared on TNA Impact in a vignette ahead of their match with Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy for the TNA World Tag Team Championships at NXT Roadblock. The WWE NXT Tag Team Champions Nathan Frazer and Axiom sent a message to the Hardys on the March 6th TNA Impact. Appearing in a vignette, Frazer and Axiom made it clear that they plan on walking out of the theater at Madison Square Garden with an extra set of Tag Team Championship gold. WWE Evolution could be finally set to return this year. 2024 saw the premium live event returns of WWE Clash at the Castle and Bad Blood. According to a new report, WWE might bring back another PLE this year, that being Evolution. Per Bodyslam.net, WWE is aiming to host the second ever Evolution premium live event over the summer. Though not set in stone, WWE is reportedly circling Saturday, July 5th as the tentative date and the Mohegan Sun Casino and Resort in Connecticut as the destination. WWE initially debuted Evolution, an all-women's event, in October 2018 from the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, New York. Talents from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT and alumni were featured, with the main event pitting Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey against Nikki Bella, who has since joined the WWE Hall of Fame. Elsewhere, Becky Lynch defeated Charlotte Flair in a last woman standing match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. WWE legend Trish Stratus, Lita, Michelle McCool, Tori Wilson, Kelly Kelly, Alundra Blaze, Ivory, and Molly Holly were also in action. Despite its lack of follow-up in the immediate years following, WWE Evolution has remained a hot topic of conversation amongst wrestling fans and the women of WWE, with Bayley previously noting she was dying for its return. According to former WWE executive Stephanie McMahon, the company considered running another Evolution event in 2019, but their focus ultimately went to Crown Jewel, which hosted the first ever women's wrestling match in the country of Saudi Arabia. Now, it had been rumored for quite some time. We got confirmation of it finally. Now, last year, WWE Vault launched on YouTube and became an alternative platform for fans to watch archive matches, weekly shows, and pay-per-view events, as well as unreleased footage. Now, WWE has released over 1,000 videos on the account and has created multiple playlists for fans to access content from any era of their choosing, while also making original shows like Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull Sessions and WWE Retrospective available. The page quickly became successful, generating 1.43 million subscribers since last May. Now, WWE has announced another new YouTube account, but strictly for WCW content. On Thursday afternoon, WWE took to social media to share the news and revealed what fans can expect to watch on their brand new account. Quote, WCW on YouTube. Watch full WCW matches, full episodes of Monday Nitro, Thunder, complete pay-per-view events, and Clash of the Champions featuring Sting, Ric Flair, the NWO, Goldberg, and more. It's where the big boys play. Subscribe now at youtube.com/@WCW. So far, the new YouTube account features some of WCW's most popular matches, such as Hulk Hogan, that being Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus Sting at Starrcade 1997, The Outsiders versus Lex Luger, Sting, and Macho Man Randy Savage at Bash at the Beach 1996. They've also released 4 full-length pay-per-views so far, including WCW Starrcade 93, WCW Spring Stampede 94, WCW Super Brawl, and WCW Greed in 2001. 2 episodes of WCW Nitro and WCW Thunder are also available to watch now, with more archived editions of both shows set to be released in the near future. A bit of an update here when it comes to Vince McMahon and his status in TKO. Now, WWE's parent company, TKO Group Holdings, made some non-wrestling waves news in the non-wrestling waves this week when it was officially announced that the company was partnering with Saudi Arabia company Seller and Saudi chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, Turki Al-Sheikh, to form a new, not yet named boxing promotion. While both UFC and WWE presidents Dana White and Nick Khan are heavily expected to be involved, not much else is known, which thus made it interesting to some when Al-Sheikh recently made glowing comments about disgraced former WWE chairman Vince McMahon, referring to him as one of the greatest promoters ever. On the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer discussed those comments by Al-Sheikh, and while it hasn't led to anything yet, Meltzer did point out that the comments have people talking and wondering if McMahon could be involved in this boxing venture. Quote, I've seen speculation already about Vince McMahon being back in the game, Meltzer said. I don't know. Vince does want to promote outside decide entertainment, not professional wrestling, because he knows he can't go against WWE. I don't know. Entertainment, maybe boxing. Maybe they'll get Vince into the boxing thing. That way it's not wrestling. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Al Sheikh is the one guy. I mean, Vince and him have a very good relationship. Vince is the one that got UFC involved and TKO involved in this thing before he got booted out. Vince was the conduit who essentially brought Dana White and Turkey together, and, you know, Nick Khan and everyone. So there you go. I mean, he's not part of this now, but he's the key guy in the background of bringing these guys together. Now, a bit of an update here when it comes to WWE LFG and Season 2, because WWE LFG has been renewed for Season 2, but with some changes. It was revealed that the upcoming WWE Hall of Famer Michelle McCool will replace Mickie James on Season 2 of the series, leading many to question why that is happening. Now, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, sources close to A&E production claim to Fightful that The Undertaker was instrumental on getting his wife on the show. The claim from those close to the series say The Undertaker was open to continuing the show if Michelle McCool was involved, so she was brought in to replace Mickie James. Now, it's important to note that Fightful say they've not heard of anything claiming that Undertaker specifically wanted Mickie James off the show or wanted Michelle McCool to actively replace Mickie James, just that he wanted Michelle to be involved. If we get any more details on that in the future, we'll of course let you know. Now, more details on the big match at the upcoming Sacrifice event. Santina Marella announced that the 10-man tag team match at TNA Sacrifice is now a steel cage match. The bout pits Joe Hendry, Matt Hardy, Elijah, Nick Nemeth, and Leon Slater against the System's JDC, Brian Myers, and Eddie Edwards, as well as the Colognes, that being Eddie Colon and Orlando Colon. That match, of course, will be taking place at Sacrifice and is actually the first steel cage match in TNA wrestling since way back in 2019. And finally, several big matches have been confirmed for next week's edition of TNA Impact on Access TV. During the March 6th episode of TNA Impact, several matches and segments were made for the next episode. For starters, NXT's Cora Jade will team with Tessa Blanchard to face TNA Knockouts World Champion Massa Slamovich and Li Yingling. This follows a confrontation between all four women on last night's episode. WWE NXT's Wesley will also be in action against the Laredo Kid. Joe Hendry will defend the TNA World Championship. The person who will challenge him is not yet known. Plus, Eddie Edwards takes on Leon Slater as the jockey for momentum heading into TNA Sacrifice, where they will be on opposite ends of a 10-man tag team match. The match was announced to be held inside of a steel cage, and this match is to determine who would have the advantage going into that match. Rounding out the card, Rosemary will take on Xia Brookside. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.